What's up, guys? Welcome to another shootout commentary, and today we're talking about the top 10 remaining free agents this year. So I'm going to dive right in. Number 10, we got Thomas Fleischman. This guy could be a great, depth player for your team. I don't feel like he's going to get a contract. I just feel like he's going to get invited to a training camp and might walk away with a contract, might not. That still seems to be something that a team's going to determine from what he can do in training camp. I think he's a great insurance policy depth player. Unfortunately, he doesn't have much to offer when it comes to the top six or even to the top nine, and isn't really nearly as good as what he used to be. Number 9, Radim Verbata. Radim, was dynamite 2 years ago with the Sedins, had a big drop off last year, and that's why I got him so low on this list because he's 35 years old, if I'm not mistaken here, and once you start declining at that point, usually it's a straight line downwards. There's no really picking it back up. That's why he's so low, because the odds of him having kind of a rejuvenation or redeeming himself are very low. Number 8, we got Patrick Elias. I know he's pretty high on this list for what he can do offensively, what he can do on the ice, but I value very highly what he can do as a mentor to young players, how he can be, very effective in the locker room with his leadership. In my opinion, is worth a little more than what Verbata and Fleischman can bring to a team. But he is not that much of a free agent, as he said he only wants to sign with New Jersey. I'm curious if a contender calls him, what his response would be. But what he is saying is the only team he would be interested in is the New Jersey Devils. Number 7, we got Matt Cullen. And you're probably like, Matt Cullen is way older than Verbata. Why the heck would he be so high on this list? Matt Cullen played with an unbelievable amount of energy. I didn't even know that was physically possible for his age in the playoffs. He gave it all out on the ice. It's a surprise that he's still alive. I mean, I thought he would have worn out. I'm obviously exaggerating here, but I feel like he was actually a pretty big part of Pittsburgh winning the cup. It looks like he's going after a pretty big payday on free agency, and by pretty big it could be like 1 year, $2 million or something like that. And that's going to be hard for the Penguins to be able to give him that. Rumors are that Pittsburgh are trying to bring him back if he can probably reduce a little bit what he's asking as a salary. Number 6, Dennis Seidenberg. He's obviously on the decline, but I feel like he could be a great depth defenseman, probably most to a Western Conference team. I fucked that shootout so badly. The guy gave me an open net, and I came back to where he was. That's just terrible. But yeah, mostly in the Western Conference, because when in the playoffs, in the Western Conference, it's especially hard hitting. There's a lot more physical activity in the West than in the East. That's just my opinion. You could say it's different. I know the West is getting also a lot faster, but being a hard hitter in the playoffs for whatever conference can have a huge impact, and that's the reason I feel like Seidenberg can still have an impact on a bottom pairing on a team, but still a very valuable impact. Number 5, we got James Wisniewski. This guy, didn't play last year. I think he played 1 period or something like that before getting season-ending surgery, which completely sucks. So I truly wish him to redeem himself. The Hurricanes bite him out. He still held a contract. Probably they were a little bit scared that he wouldn't come back to a livable physical condition. Since he's over 30 and he just went under a major injury. And nice job tying it up here. I feel like he can still be a second, wave offensive defenseman for a power play. That's kind of where I see him. Maybe third pairing. Maybe a guy that's, a depth defenseman and doesn't play all the time. Number 4, we got Kyle Quincy. He did not re-sign with, the Red Wings. Apparently he was asking too much and they wanted to enter the Stamkos sweepstakes. And probably they just found better ways to spend their money when free agency came. I feel like he can still be a top 4 guy, which I know is thinking of him pretty highly. But I feel like he's not a very flashy player, but I feel like he does his job very well and takes care of his responsibilities in the defensive end. Number 3 is Alex Tanguay, and you're probably wondering, how is he this high on this list? He did not play great with the with the Colorado Avalanche. But exactly, I felt like he kind of, oh no, I fucked that one too. He turned it on playing with the Coyotes. And he got 13 points in 18 games, with playing with a pretty dreadful team in Arizona. I'm kind of curious, what could he do if he had some lethal offensive weapons around him? Or maybe it's because he had that success because he was playing with such a young team and had to have a bigger role. And in this case, in my opinion, the fit would be, the Florida Panthers, a very great young team. They've got one of the oldest guys in the NHL having an unbelievable amount of success with them, Jaromir Jagr. Maybe Tanguay can have similar success on a different level because he's clearly not on Jagr's level. The only downside with Tanguay is he does get injured a lot, and whatever team is going to pick him up is going to have to take a risk that he can be healthy the full season. Number 2, I'm going to name this guy stats, and you're going to be like, how is he unsigned? And then we'll reveal his name. 25 years old. So he's still got some potential to grow. He scored 20 plus goals one season back. Last year scored, I believe, 15, which is not bad. Like on a third line, that would be perfect. On a second line, that's not great. The guy is Brandon Pirri. He's been inconsistent and has had off-ice troubles, or rumored to have had them. He is a great shooter. If you look at him play, he can really shoot the puck. But look at it. The Blackhawks have passed on him. They almost gave him away, or they gave it for cheap to the Panthers. If you look at what they got talent-wise, the Panthers practically gave him away to Anaheim. I think it was for a 4th rounder, and Anaheim literally gave him away to anybody in the NHL. He was an RFA. They said, we're not even going to give you a qualifying offer. They really didn't want him. Is this guy like a cancer in the locker room? I have no idea. But whatever team is going to take a risk on him is going to take a huge gamble. If you can get this guy to straighten his shit out, he's got an unbelievable amount of talent, and it's going to be a huge win. But if he just continues to be a Johnny Manziel type of guy, it could, definitely hurt their franchise. And at the number 1 spot, this is not even open for debate. You could, rechange all my other guys from 2 to 10 and, shuffle that up, and it would still make some sort of sense. But the number 1 spot is Chris Russell. I have no idea how he's still a free agent. First of all, he's by far the best player still out there. Jiri Hudler got a contract before him, and I think there's a pretty nice margin between the two players. The only reason I'd see, he's probably asking too much. Money or term, I've got no idea. Rumors have him going to the Leafs. I could see why Toronto would, want to make this deal. A lot of fans love it. A lot of fans hate it. And that's kind of where I'm going to end this video, guys. I want to know, what are your guys' opinion? Should the Leafs sign Chris Russell or should they not? Should they stick with the rebuild or add a free agent to, kind of help him or give him a push for the next season and the upcoming years? So that's about it, guys. I want to know your opinions, and I hope you're having an awesome day. And as always, thanks for watching.